thank you so much. You said it. And still the world heavyweight champion, the ring general, Gunther. He improves to a very impressive 8-0 since WrestleMania. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Bash and Berlin post-show. Jackie Redmond, very excited to be alongside Miz, Peter Rosenberg, and Big E. Guys, this victory for Gunther is impressive because he's a tough guy to beat, but he does it against a 14-time world champion in Randy Orton. What impresses you most about the way he got this victory tonight?
This was a big match feel. It felt like Hogan Rock at WrestleMania. Two big superstars. The audience was absolutely electric from top to bottom. 2 minutes in, they're chanting, "This is awesome." They did a headlock takeover. That's how insane this match was. Incredible.
I saw the way Miz reacted at the way the match ended. Can you believe that Gunther put Randy Orton to sleep?
Yeah. No, it was like, the show, I can, because he's that good. And this man has taken our industry by storm. And what I think is so intoxicating is he has this mat-based style that for so many years we were told doesn't work at the top, it's boring, but it's not. Look at the reaction of the people. Every town he's in, not just here in Germany, but I think what he's doing is so special. We're witnessing something very special, and I want to make sure that we're present and we're recognizing this is different. Gunther is different.
Different? How about Gunther extending a hand saying, "I'll shake your hand. Great job in the ring." And Randy accepting that handshake.
That was the
That's
moment.
usually Randy Orton going, "Hey,
Right.
I give you the rub," but it's almost like the champion is giving the rub. It's like, "Hey, kid, you did good."
But I think Randy recognizes how special Gunther is. That's not something he would do with just anyone. He realizes he's in a ring with someone who is different.
And you can say the same for Gunther as well. I don't think he offers that respect to just anybody. I mean, he's made it a point over and over and over again that, you know, the mat is sacred. He's not giving his respect to anybody. He gives it to Randy Orton, who for a moment looks like he had Gunther beat. I mean, he puts him through a table. I thought, RKO, this is going to be done. What impressed you about seeing Randy Orton perform at this stage of his career to this level?
I jumped out of my seat when he hit the RKO, and I was like, "Oh my God, this might be over. Like, this could be the finish." It's an RKO.
Yeah.
People don't kick out of RKOs.
Well,
But Gunther did.
Gunther does. He retains the World Heavyweight Championship. Here he is with Kathy Kelly.
Gunther, congratulations. Incredible win tonight in front of your friends, in front of your family, in front of everyone here in Germany. Any words for them?
Zuallererst mal vielen, vielen Dank. Dankeschön.
Thank you. Thank you.
Und dann, kleine Geschichte, so als Meilenstein zwischendurch, als ich damals mit meinem guten Freund in Deutschland immer angetreten bin, jedes Wochenende, hat mich WWE kontaktiert und hat gesagt, komm, lass was machen. Ich wollte in Deutschland bleiben, mir war es immer wichtig, ich möchte in Europa was aufbauen, was nachhaltig ist. Und Triple H hat zu mir gesagt, pass auf, das verstehe ich, aber um etwas aufbauen zu können, musste erstmal jemand werden und ich glaube, ich bin jemand geworden.
Gunther soaking it all in as he should. My goodness.
You're going to translate that, right?
Yeah, we're going to translate
No,
that.
you know, bring that down.
We said yeah, and I'm like, "No kidding." facilitate that, buddy.
Don't put me on the spot with that. But obviously, a huge moment, a huge match. Feels like an instant classic when we look back on it, and the energy was palpable from start to finish. Let's bring in Michael Cole and Wade Barrett. I mean, they called this match. Cole, you have called a ton of matches in your career in a ton of places. This crowd has been good all night, but from the start of this match with Randy Orton and Gunther in the ring, it went to a whole new level. How was it from your perspective?
Well, the first thing I want to say, Jackie, is thank you to everybody here in Berlin. It's been an incredible week. This crowd was out of control all night long. Also, every single match on this card was amazing. I mean, incredible stories across the board. Cody and KO. We have new women's tag team champion. CM Punk and Drew McIntyre was an absolute classic. Rhea and Damian got revenge. And, of course, what we just witnessed, Randy Orton is one of the all-time greats. And I've got goosebumps right now talking about Randy, because I've had the opportunity to call most of the matches in his career. He is an unbelievable performer. Since day one, when he arrived on the scene here in WWE, he has dominated. And I thought he was going to get closer to history tonight. But the one thing that Gunther proved is that he was able to weather the emotion. He was able to get through what was a really tough week psychologically for him. Not only the live events, but being here in Berlin. But the fact that he knocked off Randy Orton to continue his reign as world champion. This man is the future. He's the present. He's the future. He's going to be champion for a very long time. And in 20 years, we may be talking about Gunther as approaching John Cena and Ric Flair as a 16-time world champion. It's been a great atmosphere. Thank everybody again. Back up to you guys.
Cole, thank you so much. Congratulations again to World Heavyweight Champion Gunther, who, by the way, we said this earlier, it's a staggering stat, has held a title for 75% of the time that he has been a WWE superstar. It is an outrageous number, but Cole said it. This has been a stacked card from start to finish, and it started with the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, defeating Kevin Owens to hold on to that undisputed WWE Championship. I'm hearing that he is ready at the podium, so let's take you there now.
Cody?
Hello, everybody. A quick programming note as we get started tonight. As some of you may know, college is back in session in the United States of America, and Triple H's oldest daughter is off to college, and he has gone home to be a part of that amazing life moment. So congratulations, of course, to the whole Levesque family. Yeah. With that in mind, you guys are stuck with me to go over some of the business points of this wonderful evening and Bash in Berlin and the overall tour that WWE has been on. Bash in Berlin, I love saying this, is the highest grossing arena event in WWE history. That's the third time this year we've been able to say that. We set a new arena gate record with Backlash in France, Clash at the Castle in Scotland. Also tonight was our 55th sellout in 2024. And there were 13,149 incredible fans in attendance this evening. I have been on this entire tour, whether it was Rotterdam, Oberhausen, Brussels, Stuttgart, Frankfurt, of course, Berlin. Everything they tell you, growing up in the industry about pro wrestling and German fans and what that's like, and the mythos and the history. And you hear about Bret Hart coming over here and just the hysteria about what we do. It's really fun to see that perception and reality are all the same. Incredible fans. And it was just an honor to compete and perform for them each and every night. I'd like to quickly, as we're covering some of the business elements of this, Davari and Chris Abyss, producers for that live event tour, really did a wonderful job. I don't think they often get the credit they do for keeping a bunch of rowdy wrestlers on the page and getting us from town to town and being able to do this the way we do. Also, Byron MC for the entire event and did an incredible job. Thank you, Byron. And we're headed back to the U.S. We're looking forward to big debuts back in the United States. Of course, SmackDown to USA on September 13th, NXT to the CW on October 1st, and then Monday Night Raw is heading to Netflix on January 6th. With that stated, let's open it up for questions.
If you have a question for the undisputed WWE Champion, raise your hand, state your name, and the media outlet you are affiliated with, and we'll start off right here in the first row.
Hi, I'm Marlene from Promiflash. Now that you won your match against Kevin, what do you think where you stand with your friendship, where are you standing?
Oh, that's a great question. I think a lot of people who watch a good chunk of pro wrestling probably could have called, Kevin's turning on Cody. That's as obvious as it gets. And it speaks to the strength of our relationship. Kevin and I's relationship. Last night's promo on SmackDown dove into it a little further. It's incredibly deep, incredibly complex. I've never told him this before, but I often feel like I'm chasing behind him because, again, when he showed up on the scene, he's picking fights with John Cena and the top stars. I was still painting my face and just so far behind the eight ball. And that feels good as a competitor and a performer where you can be in the ring and let them know and show them, even your friends. But it was a really touching moment to be able to share that with him. I think I've only ever walked to the back with my arms like this with somebody. I think the only two people I did it with besides Kevin was Seth Rollins at WrestleMania, and then my brother Dustin way back when I was at AEW. So that was special to have those three guys all share that type of moment with him.
Next question, we'll head to the second row.
Jamal Nias here for Seconds Out. Now, Cody, obviously being world champion comes with a massive target on your back, and it's kind of shown that you got to be wary even of your closest friends with you questioning Kevin Owens' loyalty. I think a lot of people were questioning Randy Orton earlier in the summer as well with the way he was eyeing up the WWE title. Do you feel that he could potentially be eyeing you up in the future, and are you wary of him given his past?
That's a great question. I also would like to not deflect by any means. I'll dive into it, but I do want to congratulate Randy and Gunther, because when you go over these new Arena Gate records, as exciting as they are, those were the guys who were on top. Those are the ones that all of the local talent, all of us in the locker room, top to bottom on the card, should be going to and thanking for the house. So Gunther, Randy Orton, thank you for the house. In terms of him eyeing the title, I have seen a lot of rumblings in terms of, your ear to the ground. You feel like people might want to see that match. It's a very, very different match than when I first showed up on Monday Night Raw, and the person I wrestled was actually Randy Orton. Gosh, I don't want to give you a bad answer, but that match, a lot would have to happen for that match to take place. Again, that's a very real relationship and friendship and the mentor and the student, but it's certainly not something I would back down from. Because like I just said, sometimes the people you want to know how you've grown the most is the ones closest to you, and nobody's closer to me than Randy Orton. So if it happens, that's a lot of drama. As the Bloodline fans like to say, the cinema. It's a lot of cinema. But right now, no plans for it.
Right inside, second row.
Denise Salcedo, Instinct Culture. Cody, you've now been champion for several months. Before you defeated Roman Reigns, obviously you must have imagined being champion. Has it been what you envisioned so far?
I dreamed of this was a big thing I wanted, to win the WWE title and be the first Rhodes with the biggest prize in our game. But I can't say it's not been what I've envisioned as much as I could have never guessed, even with a lifetime of building up to it, I could have never guessed the amount of responsibility that is handed to you in terms of how you go about doing the live events, how you go about doing your press, your meet, just every piece of it. I thought I had a lifetime to prepare for it. And I remember Roman Reigns actually said something to me in an interview, face to face. He was talking about the idea of if I was to get to the edge of the mountain and actually do this, that I'd be really tired. And I don't like the T word. at all. I don't believe in it in our industry. I think the grind is a good thing. But I can say there was definitely some truth to what he was saying because it's a different type of responsibility. I'm still having the most fun I've ever had in my life. I really am. But with every step you make, it affects the WWE. And that's just a lot of responsibility. So if anything, it's, I hope, made me better as, of course, a pro wrestler, sports entertainer, but I hope it's made me better as someone here in this company, WWE, and just my, I guess, my business savvy, as Mr. Heyman always calls it, in terms of navigating a future in pro wrestling once I officially hang up the boots, if that makes any sense. You know, it's a long-winded answer. I apologize. It's been amazing, no doubt. And one of the things, not to get too inside baseball, but we talked about 55 sellouts. I believe it's actually several outlets, you know, and people you know who have reported the record grosses. If I was to tell you the record grosses for this company, you'd think it was a Cody lie. It's unreal. This is just a really beautiful renaissance period for the business. Happy for everyone involved with it, all of us.
Last row.
Hi, Cody. James D'Lo from Gorilla Position.
Long time, man.
Long time.
Yeah, you've been avoiding me, huh?
Well,
yeah,
you're a dodgy character. Congratulations on tonight. You thanked Randy and Gunther for the house. You opened the show tonight with KO. Mm-hmm. You opened the show with AJ at Clash at the Castle in Glasgow. Mm-hmm. Roman Reigns is also back.
Yeah.
Are there any honest insecurities within you that is worried about losing your position as the poster boy for WWE after such a big build-up of you winning the gold?
Well, I think if I'm speaking honestly, they're not insecurities and they're not concerns, but I'd be naive to not acknowledge, no pun intended, the challenge. I love this. And maybe in just going off my last answer, one of the things, I had a lifetime of experience to get ready for this. That's the biggest challenge in front of me in terms of what's the new task for me. Again, the idea of being the poster boy at all. My gosh, that's an amazing feeling. That's special. It will end at some point, but I will certainly put up every bit of a fight. And it's not just the OTC. It's not just Roman Reigns. This is John Cena's farewell run. I am up there in very rare air with special characters, people like CM Punk. If anything, how you phrased it, another way I would put it, it's a great problem to have for WWE. And I think both, strictly speaking, the man you mentioned and myself, we like that. We have pitted ourselves against each other, not just at WrestleMania in the main event, but in every aspect behind the scenes too, and not in a dishonest way, in an honest way. Better man's going to win. And that's, again, a good problem to have.
First row.
Hi, Cody. Thilo from...
Hello.
From Young and Eve. Since you mentioned Netflix, I don't know if you saw the announcement of the Netflix doc on Vince. Mm-hmm. Are you going to watch it? And are you familiar with the Janelle Grant story? Do you personally believe what she's saying, and does the locker room believe it? Because the locker room has been awfully silent on this whole issue. You know, the allegations about sex trafficking and rape.
Yeah, I think it's a great question in terms of am I going to watch it? Not to sound cheeky by any means, I am deep in a Game of Thrones rewatch, and that is a hell of a lot of commitment. I don't know. I think there's a bit of misinformation in terms of WWE has no involvement in this documentary as far as I know. I imagine I would get around to seeing it. In terms of the more serious and the meat in your question, in terms of the locker room being quiet or silent, whatever it may be, I don't think that's a matter of belief versus non-belief. I think it's strictly speaking, we want to be doing what we were doing out there, and the focus and attention that it takes, 13,149 people to have a great story and have a great match and do that every single night has left most of us where we're finding the information out just as you are. And that includes the resolution of this information in terms of what happened, how it happened, and how justice comes about, whatever it may be. But I wouldn't look at it as an active attempt from the locker room to be silent in the attempt. We just are doing what we do day to day, WWE business.
Do you believe her?
I'm sorry?
Do you believe Janelle Grant?
Oh, I don't know enough about the information to give you a good enough answer there. I'm sorry.
All right, one last question. We'll head to third row over here.
Mike 5.
Where?
Andre from Road to Music. I just wanted to ask about Bret Hart. You just mentioned him. You said that, or there was a video package last week about that Bret Hart always said that Germany is a very special place for him and the German fans as well. And I wanted to ask if you maybe know if there were any plans to bring back Bret Hart for just this event tonight, and also what was different for you here in Germany tonight comparing to France and Puerto Rico, for example.
Well, I don't know if there was any plans. Again, something above my pay grade in terms of the hitman himself. But one of the things I'll say, you're spot on with how particularly popular he was in Germany. That was a myth that turned out to be real. I actually love the fact that we didn't have any of that tonight. It was Gunther from Austria, Ludwig actually here in Germany, Randy Orton. It was the current roster. We did not rely on anything from the past necessarily, and I don't mean that with any disrespect to the past. I just mean I'm proud of this roster for doing it. Was there a second part to your question?
Yeah. About, do you have any comparisons to the France audience?
Listen, because tonight I got the sense that the audience was really putting in their best effort to, hey, we're going to show France, we're going to show Scotland, we'll show Italy, all these places. I've been in the ring in all of these. I'll tell you the truth. The winner is Europe. The winner is Europe. These crowds are incredibly unique. They all have a different flavor, and it makes us better as far as competitors and performers. The fact that we get to test ourselves in all these different places. So there hasn't been one flat out. I wouldn't lie to you. There hasn't been one that's like, ugh, that place. We haven't had that. Every place has been really, really incredible with these international PLEs. And shout out to TKO and Nick Khan for making world wrestling entertainment really worldwide. It was really touching to see, for example, Sebastian out there in the ring tonight. I know he's been on board with WWE in Germany for so long, and for him to have a good moment in his home country in Spa, it's just a beautiful thing.
All right, Cody, thank you for spending some time with us. Congratulations on the retention of your undisputed WWE Championship.
Thanks, man. Thanks, everybody. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Yes, congratulations to Cody Rhodes, who retains his undisputed WWE Championship and also has a pretty good Paul Triple H Levesque impression answering some of those business-like questions. But we've got a couple of big-time guests here joining us on the post-show after Bash in Berlin. And I'll start with this. Rhea Ripley, Mommy, how sweet does revenge actually taste?
Oh, man, it tastes amazing. Honestly, it feels nice to get a little bit of revenge in this, especially because, that's all that Liv Morgan loves to talk about. Revenge to her this, revenge to her that. When is it going to end, huh? It's not even revenge at this point. It's just you being a petty little piece of... You can finish that sentence. And it was about time that Mommy got some revenge, and it feels damn sweet.
Do we have a name yet for the pin, Rhea? Because this is becoming... every time that happens, I feel the internet sort of stop.
I call it the take it easy pin.
You call it the Ayo.
Ayo. I like to call it the pretzel pin because it's very fitting.
Yes, it is.
Just like them.
DP, my man over here has been on podcast fantasy booking a love story between the two of you, and I told him that is a terrible idea. What I love is you guys have a real deep friendship. Yeah, give him that look. He deserves it. That flick in the head was deserved. Can you talk about your friendship and how much it's meant to you? Because this has not been a new thing. You guys have been, this bond has been real and has been deep for quite some time now.
Yeah, since NXT, we, formed this incredible bond where I just felt a deep love for her, like a little sister, and we talked about working together and possibly doing something one day, and then came the Judgment Day, which was cool. But I'll tell you, the Terror Twin stuff now is a whole nother level to our friendship and our relationship, and we, I don't know, we just feel so comfortable and so, on fire with this. It's incredible, and I couldn't ask for a better partner.
It's been fun to watch you guys sort of support each other through these massive betrayals. And I'd be remiss if I didn't. There's obviously the revenge with Taste Speed, and you're happy to get the victory over Liv and Dom tonight. But this is a faction in the Judgment Day that you two built. You guys were the heart of this faction. And regardless of how you feel about the people currently in it now, there has to be some sort of heartbreak that goes along with that. Where are you guys in the process of really dealing with that, and will you ever get over it?
Look, the idea of the Judgment Day was we got together to elevate each other because we felt that we weren't in the position that we believed we belong in. We're in the spot that we know we belong in. We've won world titles while we were in the Judgment Day. It's exactly what was the point. Now, this new crew, they felt slighted because it wasn't about them. And I get it, but we grew. And I think we outgrew the Judgment Day anyway. So if anything, they did us a favor. Well, and as you can hear, our new family, I like them very much. So of course, we build a bond, we build a friendship, and we did feel like a family. So of course, there's a part of us that hurts, and that's probably why we're so angry about this betrayal. But they're gonna regret this.
By the way, we got to let them leave because if the Terror Twins don't leave, you guys can't see
I know,
it.
there's a crowd here.
No one is leaving the arena because the Terror Twins are here right now.
We got Terror Twins fans here. Yeah, we do. Well, listen, thank you guys for coming on the show. We appreciate it.
Always a pleasure.
Go celebrate however it is that you two celebrate these types of things. Enjoy Berlin. It's a heck of a city. And in the meantime, we are going to go over to Kathy Kelly, who caught up with CM Punk after his victory tonight. Let's take a look.
We just witnessed some blood, sweat, and maybe even a few tears in that match tonight against Drew McIntyre. CM Punk, you got the bracelet. You got the win tonight. Feels like a storybook ending here in Berlin. So what is next for you?
Well, it's definitely the end of me and Drew McIntyre. What's next for me is I'm going to take a long, hot shower. I'm going to try to find some donuts, and I got myself a main event to watch because I'm very interested in the results. Gunther versus Randy Orton, and some people like to say may the best man win. But in this case, may the best man win because the better man is coming for you. I want the gold. I'm coming for you, sucker.
Well, congratulations on tonight. Looking forward to that future and hope you get your donuts.
Thank you.
CM Punk finally has that bracelet back where it belongs. We're going to step aside for a quick break here on the Bash in Berlin post show. Still to come, we'll hear from the new women's tag team champions, Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. Don't go anywhere.
Baker Cole. Tommy Yeet. What the hell? Oh God! Holy cow! Holy CM Punk is here. No way. No way. Absolutely no way. You gotta be kidding me, Bailey. How the hell? Down goes fire. Don't do this, please, for the love of God! Oh, my God! Somebody get the damn paramedics! Not again! Come on now! Roman from the top rope, through Cody, through the table! Damn it! Cody is crushed!
I'm eating good, but I'm eating.
Oh, yeah!
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Bash in Berlin post-show. We are inside Uber Arena breaking down everything that went down on not only a very historic card, but a very, very entertaining stack of matches. Let's go over some of these winners. We've heard from a few of them. We've talked about a few of them. We haven't talked about our new women's tag team champions in Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair, who take back those titles from the very woman that took them from them back at Clash at the Castle. What did you make of the victory?
They don't lose traditional tag team
Yes.
matches. And Jade Cargill does not get pinned. And what a performance by both teams. If you really watched and you looked at it, you saw four women that were going head-to-head, battling it out. And it was really awesome to watch.
It really was. And they're a team that you watch, that match at Clash was a triple threat, as you allude to. It's hard to see any team really being able to hang with Jade and Bianca. Time will tell, I suppose. Elsewhere, we saw Kathy Kelly talking to CM Punk earlier, but we haven't actually talked about the strap match. It was violent. It was bloody. It was crazy. What stood out to you guys about that match?
Jackie, to me, it was the signature moment of the return of CM Punk, right? I mean, when you think about how long it's been since he's won a singles match, everything that happened at SummerSlam, to me, he's the biggest winner tonight. And this is a guy who not only gets the bracelet back and defends the honor of Larry and AJ, but also gets a win in just an absolutely brutal fashion.
Yeah, very much so. We often talk, the phrase fragile mind, fragile body has been attached to Punk many times. But seeing him pick Drew's big ass up 3 times for DTS, I was impressed.
Very.
All right, how about the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes? He retains the undisputed WWE Championship, defeating Kevin Owens. What I thought was interesting in that match was the inner conflict we saw with KO, trying...
In his own head.
Right.
It wasn't a conflict between him and Cody. It was in his own head. He had a chance to become the champion, the man, the person, and he took that moment for granted. He didn't take that opportunity and grab it by the horns, and that's what you're supposed to do when you want to be champion. I don't know what's going on in KO's mind, but if I'm him, I have regrets about this match. And you don't want to live with regrets in WWE, especially in that kind of opportunity.
I think the hesitation definitely cost him. And it's one of those things where I don't want to move the spotlight away.
He didn't even do it. He didn't even do the move. There was no hesitation. He just didn't even do the move.
Right, no, but there's a moment where he loads him and he's thinking about it, and then he decides to move elsewhere. And I think in a match like this, you're either all the way in or all the way out. You have to decide before you go into the match, who are you? What are my principles? What lines will I cross? What lines will I not cross? And I think for a guy like Kevin, for one, I also think I saw the look on his face at the end of the match. I don't think this is over.
Really?
I don't think it's over. I saw something that felt unsettled.
No, it might have been regret. It might have been exactly what Mike's talking about.
Right.
Maybe it was regret. But here's my question. You guys remember the Klitschko brothers, right?
Yes.
There's a reason Vladimir and Vitaly Klitschko never fought, because they knew ultimately there was just too much love there. Maybe this is a match, frankly, KO shouldn't have taken if he doesn't have it.
He tried not to take it. Nick Aldis spun him around and said, hey, I'll give it to Roman. He's like, well, now I have to kind of take it. And then, but you have that moment. You have that
You
opportunity.
have to take the opportunity.
You have to take that opportunity, and you have to become WWE champion. You have that opportunity that you're the person. You're the guy. You beat the poster child.
Yeah.
Cody Rhodes. Everyone was looking at you to make that moment, to be that moment, and you didn't take it. To me, it's a lost opportunity.
And it's a surprising thing coming from someone like Kevin Owens and everything that he's done in WWE.
The fans loved it, by the way.
Yeah.
The fans probably are patting him on the back and thinking, wow, that's amazing.
What a great guy.
I look at that and I go, oh, Kevin, that was
Because if
it.
it was you, there's
I
no
would have taken
way.
it, no doubt in my mind. If you know more about me,
Okay.
day long.
Listen,
Would you have done it? You're against
hang
Kofi.
on.
You're against Xavier.
First of all, you know I'm not touching my brother, but it's a different scenario. Look, it's 10 years of brotherhood. I'm not trying to take away from this friendship, but it's a different category.
I do have to hit the pause real quick because I don't want to take away from the new women's tag team champions who are patiently standing by in the press room to address the media. Let's check in with them.
Okay, ready to open things up with the new women's tag team champions. We're going to start off in the second row.
Emily May with Wrestling News Co. Congratulations on winning for a second time the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. What does that feel for you tonight, and how will you make your second reign different than your first?
It feels great. It feels great. I feel like we were on a roll with our first reign, and then we were super confident, and then we had the triple threat, and it was taken off of us. But I feel like that was the best thing that could have happened to us. I feel like that loss made us very stronger mentally, physically. I feel like our bond is stronger, and I feel like tonight it was more than just a match. Like, we went in, we felt like tonight was going to solidify us as a true tag team, and I feel like we did that. So I'm ready to finish what we started, and we're ready to just keep elevating this tag team division. And I feel like, you know, when you win a title, I feel like a lot of people say, oh, I'm putting the whole division on notice right now. But I feel like we're on notice right now. I know Alba and Isla, they're not going to go away. I know that the whole tag team division is coming after us, and they're going to bring their A games, because to take down Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill is something, you know, I think everybody wants to do. But I'm excited to elevate this division and continue to go forward with this.
I mean, I'm just going to piggyback off of what she said. I mean, she said a boatload right there. But yes, we're just here to elevate the tag team division. We're here. We're not going to put everybody on notice. She's so modest, guys. But listen, we're here to do things that have never been done for the tag team division. You got the EST, you got Jade Cargill. I mean, just get ready for it.
Next question, last row on the left.
So nice. I'm the nicest.
Congratulations, ladies, on winning your second WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. Jade Cargill, it's been a year now since the big announcement that you joined the WWE. How has life been here since you arrived from AEW? And Bianca, how did you help Jade acclimatize to life in the WWE?
You know what? I'm so tired of answering questions about AEW. I'm like I said, I'm proud to be from there. However, I'm here. I'm focused on what I'm doing next. And what's next is us just solidifying, owning these tag team titles and going out there and making a name for ourselves.
Yeah, and I just feel like I've tried to be here as much as I can. I feel like if anybody can relate to Jade, it would be me. You know, she came in with a lot of hype. She hit the ground running, and she got thrown into some really big situations. You know, I feel like my very first year, I found myself in the main event of WrestleMania, and I was as new as possible, and I leaned on and relied on all the girls that were in the locker room. So I'm just trying to do the same thing that was done for me. But yeah, that's just what I'm trying to do. I think you have a long career here, and you know, we're just trying to jumpstart that with the tag team division.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot, guys. Like, what we do is a lot. We've been on the road for over a week right now, and it's going to pick up. So I do lean on someone like the EST and Naomi, and they give me the best advice ever. I've never been on the road like this. I've never had as many matches as we just had this past week. But they make things easier. They make things just smoother. You know, we are all a family on the road, and we make these moments mean something.
Hi, Jade. Hi, Bianca. Congratulations on winning the Tag Team Championships for the second time. Miles here with Bleach Report Wrestling. Look, we don't pit black women against each other, but you two are amazing talents. How can such amazing talents share the spotlight for the next year to come? Who knows?
I mean, it's just been easy right now. I mean, it's been easy. I mean, it's like, I don't know. It's easy.
I just feel like we just want to be great. We want to be great as a tag team, and that's what we're focused on right now. So I just want everyone to lean into this tag team, and see that we're a force to be reckoned with. You have Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill on the same side and on the same team, and it's just magic to be made. So let us make that magic right now. Like, that's what we're trying to do right now.
Third row.
Michael Martinez from Lucha Libre Line. Bianca, Jade, most of your career has been single. You're one of the strongest tag team in WWE history. What is the hardest part from being single to be a tag team?
Ooh, we're both competitive.
Extremely competitive. You put two of the most competitive people, and you put them on a tag team, but we have to just try to use that energy to push each other to be the absolute best that we can be. I will say majority of my career here has been in the singles run. I've been in WrestleMania every year, either defending a title or going after a title. So I feel like it's different for me, but I wanted to take on this challenge, and I want to be in a different role. And I just know what all the girls have done for me in the past, and they've helped me. And I felt like this was something, I feel like I accomplished so much as a singles competitor, and I felt like to be in this tag team, it was new goals that I can set and go accomplish new things. And I have never been a tag team champion. I've never been a tag team wrestler, and I feel like I'm growing more as a wrestler in a different way, and I'm trying, I'm in a different role right now, so I'm just using it to try to learn from it and grow and elevate the division. I keep saying that because that's so important, and that's just, it's different. It's not just you anymore, right? Like, it's not just what you want to do on your time when you want to do it. Is something as simple as like trying to coordinate gears and trying to make sure like you're leaning on your partner, and it's not just you, yourself, and I. Like when I felt like when I was in the singles running against Damage Control, it's just me, myself, and I. But now I have, if I get in trouble, I have a tag team partner. I can tag her in and she can help me out, and we can lean on each other. So I feel like I'm just trying to have more fun right now, and that's really what I want so bad to just like have fun right now in this tag team.
Yeah, and just being a soloist, you're selfish. Everything's about you. So being that now we have to think totally different and work together and bond and coordinate gear, it's a lot. It's a lot, right? But we just make it easy. I mean, we just do it. Like, I don't know. Like, I go to her if I need advice. Like, if she needs advice, she comes to me about certain things. I mean, I'm new here still. At the end of the day, I started in March consistently. So I'm hitting the ground running. I wake up every morning. I probably text her, and I'm like, what are we doing this week? Because I have no idea. So it's more of a partnership. Like, we're here to just elevate the women's division and the tag team division and hopefully have these belts on almost every big PLE.
We have time for one more question. We're going to head to the first row here.
Hello, Sebastian Hoffman from Power Wrestling Magazine, here from Germany. After being 1 week on tour here in Germany and have an amazing match tonight, what are your thoughts about the German crowd, the German,
Tonight was amazing.
It was great. I heard we broke some
a
record tonight.
Yeah, we
so
did.
Germany, y'all show up and y'all show out.
Let's
It was
go.
great. The crowd was amazing. The crowd was
electrifying,
was loud, and we fed off of you guys. So we want to thank you guys, and we got to, make
It
some
makes it
memories
worth
here. We
it.
became 2-time tag team champions here in Germany. So always want to come back.
Yes.
And you guys are great. It was
Yes,
great.
we
It's a great
feed off
night.
of you guys. I want everyone to know we feed off the crowd. Like, if you guys bring it, we bring it. You bring it more, we're going to bring it more. The crowd here was electrifying, was amazing. I mean, the entire tour was amazing.
Bianca, Jade, thank you so much for your time. Congratulations once again on becoming two-time women's tag team champions.
Well, I thought about this the whole night. There's a lot of pressure on these guys, on Jade and Bianca. They were the challengers, yet it seems like everyone always expects them to win. They lost the title, everyone was surprised. Now they get it back, but I'm sure, as you guys both know as multi-time tag champions, it's not always about the first title reign. It's about the best title reign, and I wonder if this is the title reign that really solidifies this tag team.
Could be. Sometimes when you lose your title, you recognize what you had, and then once you get it back, you never want to lose it ever again.
Exactly.
And it sets a fire under you, and it seems like after that interview, it seems like they've got the fire.
The expectation is going to be now that they hold it for a very long time.
And they know each other a lot better now than they did 2 months ago, right? Like, they have 2 more months under their belt of working together, figuring out what works for them, their strengths, their weaknesses, how they coexist, and how they plan for matches. So I imagine that only makes them even stronger than they already were as just 2 bona fide stars being put together.
Exactly.
Speaking of bona fide stars, Big E, your
shucks.
5-pound segment has been absolutely crushing it on this post show. So it is, of course, back. What do you have for us tonight in terms of your 5 biggest moments?
Well, thank you very much. Welcome to Big E's 5 Count, where I run down my top 5 performers of the night. Number 1, we have Bianca Belair. There's an image floating around online of her lifting Jade's chin after a tough loss, and that sticks in my mind. Her leadership, her mentorship has meant so much, and she does so much to highlight Jade Cargill. Number 2, we have my man, CM Punk. This man had over 13 feet of that strap to deal with, and he took it all with no problems. Number 3, we have Rhea Ripley. Look, I gave her this star. She became my number 3 just based off of her entrance and her star power alone. She got it before the bell even rung. She is a bona fide superstar in our industry. Number 4, I have Damian Priest, the other half of the Terror Twins. Look, a lot of people, when they drop the world title, they cool off, and there are a select few who get even hotter. Damian Priest is that select few. He has been his very hottest. I love seeing what the Terror Twins are doing right now. And last but not least, the reason we are here, Gunther. This card has been built around him. He is doing incredible things. He is a very special talent. We are here in Berlin, and a huge part of that, a huge reason for that, is Gunther.
Yeah, hard to pick anyone else to take that #1 spot in your list. Well done, as always. Any honorable mentions?
5 count, baby!
I appreciate that. Honorable mention to you, Jackie Redmond. We don't give you enough love. The incredible things you do here. Take your flowers. Take your flowers, Jackie.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, people will chant my name one day. I know they do.
One day, not today. Not
Actually,
today.
Someone told me that they did, though, so maybe you didn't hear it. I don't know. But I
Wasn't
need
as loud as Michael Cole.
that's tough. That's a tough
It is
bar.
a tough one.
Let me turn the attention to you guys because I've had enough of it at this point. Honorable mentions from the two of you for tonight's card.
Oh my gosh. Cody Rhodes becoming WWE champion once again, and honestly, he's the face of this company. He truly is. He sells the most merch, and you see him in the post show, in the press conferences. He's taking over Triple. I was like, wait, he's doing Triple H's job right now.
Does that surprise you, though?
Is there anything else he can't do?
Right.
I would say my honorable mention in a loss is Liv Morgan. Yeah. I mean, it's a win for
Really?
this version of Liv Morgan that we've been getting recently.
Do you have a crush on Liv Morgan?
Whoa! I'm a married man, for God's
It's
sake.
a question.
But no, I do think collectively the WWE Universe is just tickled by this version. And by the way, she did some things in the ring tonight with Rhea Ripley. She did not get the W, but she looked very, very good. I got to give some props to Liv Morgan.
All right, fair enough. All right, well, you had Gunther in your #1 spot for performers tonight. He is getting ready to address the media. Now let's go to the press room.
We are ready to open up questions for the World Heavyweight Champion Gunther. We will start here in the first row.
Hello, Gunther. Long time no see. Max Groneman from Wrestling Observer. You've come a long way from wrestling in Germany, from the Turinenhalle in Oberhausen. And you're on top. Kaiser is up there, Ilya Dragunov. And European wrestlers are roaming the wrestling world. Will Ospreay is on top. Zack Sabre just won the G1. So what do you think? Is it the European work ethic, or what makes European wrestlers stand out in the world of wrestling these days?
I think it's because we're the best. I think that's the reason. No, I think there's certainly different styles. And Europe always has to be known that having solid technique, having a certain amount of physicality, and sport was always the main focus, and obviously that shaped me and my thinking about the sport as well. And I think that's the foundation of it. And now, ever since WWE years ago started to open up to the wrestling world, that influence came into the company, and the fans enjoy it a lot, and it will just get more and more popular.
Third row.
Keith Elliott Greenberg with Inside the Ropes magazine. Ersten vielen Dank für das Illuminess heute Abend.
Appreciate the efforts.
Okay.
Dankeschön.
What made the experience very unique tonight was the way the fans reacted to you. They were still chanting your name, Walter, your old name. When you come into a place like Berlin and you have that sense of community with the fans for years and years, what are their expectations of you that you don't face in other places? And what are the little touches you have to implement in order to satisfy those demands?
I think, so first of all, it's kind of like the German fans are very different to, I would say, worldwide. Like we're having sellouts all around the world, and people are very excited. And the last week we had a tour of Germany, and the German fans are a little bit different. They're a little bit harder to get, and you have to work a little bit harder, but that's the environment I grew up as a wrestler. And I think that's a big part of what made me good, that the fans over here are, they just expect a little bit more out of us.
And I think that shaped me to be the kind of wrestler that I am. And I think I managed to, I worked hard to gain their respect and to be out there and receive that authentic respect. It's a very rewarding feeling, and I thank them for that.
Third row.
Patrick Friedland from Funke Medien, Germany. Hello. And I want to ask you something about one specific moment in the match. After, I think, 5 or 6 minutes, the people started with this big Laola chant. And the match kind of stopped for a moment, and Randy Orton looked like, what the hell is going on here? And he's veteran doing this since 25 or 30 years. So what did you think in this specific moment? And could we Germans keep up with the people in Lyon and Perth and wherever WWE had this big live events in the last months?
I mean, first of all, yes. I think everybody kept up with the expectations today. I think it was a very special atmosphere. And what I love about being in Europe, it almost feels like a football stadium. It's like a loaded, the energies. Yeah, it's very similar, and the crowd is loaded, and it's very different from, I guess, what Randy's used to. And I yelled it over to him 2 or 3 times. Like, well, I'm used to that stuff. Like, that's how they are over here, and that's what we do it for. We do it for, as an escape for every single fan that comes to the building and wants to, be part of that experience. So, and they brought it. So, hats off to them.
We have time for 2 more questions.
Kevin Clifton from Gorilla Position. Speaking of football, there's an expression where we say play the game, not the occasion, so that they don't get nervous because of the size of the occasion. But this must have been a massive occasion for you tonight. Did that make you more nervous in any way for tonight, or are you just so kind of experienced that you don't feel those nerves anymore?
Well, I'm blessed with a very... I don't get nervous. I'm blessed with that. And I was very excited going out today because moments like today, and obviously I would think today there has been more pressure on me than ever before because WWE did that big event over here in Germany, and I think there was still like it never happened before. So there's still a little bit of a risk that the company took to do that. And to be the more or less the poster boy of all of that is obviously a big responsibility, but I worked my whole life to be in situations like that. So the last thing I want to think about is, I don't know, being nervous. I was looking forward to that. And for those 20, 30 minutes out there, that's why we take, all those struggles upon us. And that's what I'm here to do. And I was very excited going out there, and I was able to lose myself in that atmosphere today and celebrate professional wrestling and WWE here in Germany. And when it comes to WWE in Germany, I haven't heard anything, but I would be surprised if it ends here. I think it's a very strong statement, and I'm more than positive that we will be back here.
Last question.
Alistair McGeorge with Metro from the UK. And it's a simple one. You're building quite the legacy here and around the world. What do you hope that legacy will be as your career continues?
I don't know. I literally never thought about that. I try to be the best I can be. I try to be the best wrestler I can be. And I try to have the best matches I can have. That's what I'm only focused on, and that's what I'm continue to do. And I think if we focus on being the best possible, then that's when the product will be the best possible, and that's when the fans will have the best possible experience.
Well, Gunther, thank you so much. Hopefully tonight you can focus on a championship celebration.
Yeah, I'm gonna focus on the schnitzel and the beer. I tell you that. Thank you, guys.
I think we could all use some schnitzel and
Oh, I had some schnitzel on my main event menu. I had schnitzel, bratwurst,
And
I
you
had
had beer.
I had everything. I had it all, and it was fantastic.
Will you go back to said things tonight after the show?
Market Hall 9 all day long. I'm telling you, it's amazing food. Prater Beer Garden was incredible. How do you look at you?
Good
You
save.
Paying attention.
Some research.
Well, listen, every single superstar tonight put on a hell of a show. We heard Gunther talking about putting on the best match possible. Him and Randy Orton certainly lived up to that expectation. As we come to a close, any final thoughts on tonight's event? Bash in Berlin, what are you going to walk
For me,
away
it's
with?
over-delivery. And I'm not just talking about the superstars or the matches. I'm talking about the fans. Every time we come over to the European crowds, no matter where it is, the crowds are just absolutely electric, and it makes so much more of energy for the WWE superstars when they are in the ring, and you can feel that energy, and it exudes out there. I really think we saw something special in that final match with Gunther and Randy Orton. Randy Orton fought hard. Even in defeat, he still looked amazing. And so it just goes to show, like, you need to come to a live event and be a part of this live event because it is truly something special right now. I've been here for 20 years, and I've never seen audiences quite like this in my entire time here.
And we saw that from Randy Orton, too, right? He's been around for decades, and he even was reacting mid-match to the way that the crowd was reacting as they were watching.
Yeah, for me, my final thoughts, number one, the crowd. I absolutely think they got the memo. Everyone was talking about Lyon. Everyone said France was so great. I think the German fans got the memo, and they showed out tonight. They were awesome throughout the night. But also, I can't help but think about Randy Orton. You know, as you know very well, you guys are both world champions. World championship opportunities don't come along every day. Randy recently signed a new contract. We know he'll be around for a little while, but he's getting up there. Will he get that shot again? You know, I can't help but think about it. He's one of the absolute greatest of all time. He'd love to catch John Cena and Ric Flair. Will it ever happen?
After a match like that, you better believe.
He deserves one, that's for sure.
He definitely does. And, you know, for me, the takeaway will be I love the fact that we watched most of tonight from the back, but the main event, the final match of the night, we watched here. To get to be a part of the crowd, to get to look out, to see the waves,
We
to
don't
see the
get
energy.
that anymore.
It's different,
It's
right?
so great. Like we were sitting in these seats watching the live.
Yeah, we got to be fans again.
Oh my God! I was like, oh,
it's incredible. Yeah, and it's the whole industry where it's
He
easy
was
to be
doing
great.
that. He was doing
Yeah,
that.
we got to be a part of it. And I think wrestling is really about those moments. Title reigns, everything, it's all incredible. But it's about those moments, those communal moments, you know, with fellow fans. And we got to be a part of that. It was a special night here in Berlin. Berlin deserves another PLE at some point.
Yeah, they do.
They were incredible tonight.
Well said by you guys. I think it made me realize that all these events, like, I just got to step out onto the floor, like, once a night, just to soak it in, you know? Oh, my gosh. It has been so much fun. A historic night here in Berlin for Bash in Berlin. Miz, I hope you had a good time doing the pre-show, the post-show. I mean,
had
you
an
were
amazing
everywhere.
time. Dare I say it was awesome. Thank you.
Shout out
Still here.
to that guy.
Beer in his hand. He's chanting awesome. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, my goodness. Big thank you to everybody for watching. For Big E, Peter Rosenberg, Miz, and the guy over there with the beer. I'm Jackie Redmond. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time. We hope you enjoyed the show. You're awesome. You are awesome.
Right there. I like you.
You are looking live at the sold-out Uber Arena in the capital city of Germany for Bash in Berlin. The undisputed WWE Championship is on the line. Cody Rhodes defends against Kevin Owens. Cody is knee buckled. What are you doing, KO? Kevin couldn't pull the trigger. Cody Rhodes retains the title. The women's tag team titles are on the line. Belair and Cargill are once again on top of the women's tag team division.
WWE's most heated rivalry comes to a head in a brutally unforgiving strap match.
Punk wins the strap match. The Terror Twins finally get their hands on Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio. This is going to be electric. Gunther defending the World Heavyweight Championship against Randy Orton.
This has been a special presentation of WWE. For over 70 years, the global leader in sports and entertainment.